dignity to the girl child by ending period poverty. That's the aim of the SA United Business Confederation and the George Sebulela and Vivian Mokome foundations. Period poverty affects the health of young women, but it also has far-reaching social consequences. It prevents girls from going to school or taking part in any social and sporting activities. Let's talk more about this now with Vivian Mokome herself and Quintus Sarawan. Thank you very much to both of you for joining me this morning. Vivian, I'll start with you in terms of the need that you saw to get into this particular kind of initiative to make sure that we end period poverty.
For me, it was based on the articles that I read where it stated that about 7 million of a girl child in South Africa, they are without a sanitary napkin. And based on the stats that most of our girls, they do miss their schools, and because of a lack of something as simple as a sanitary napkin. And that on its own dawned to me that as a country or as a citizen, we ought to do something. I see no reason for any girl child to miss school because of a lack of a simple thing such as a sanitary napkin.
Yeah.
And that's how my foundation came into play.
Quintus, thank you very much to you for joining us as well. And maybe just share with us the role that you've played in this particular important initiative.
I think first and foremost, when you conceptualize the project, it had to be meaningful and impactful to the youth out there, not just to the girl child, but to the audience that we are speaking to. So the role that we played is a very selective role. It was solution driven, and where we bring in the arts and culture part of it to the project itself. So when we do go out and we roll out to the necessary schools, we bring motivation, we bring inspiration, we bring legends, we bring celebrities that have made it from those communities itself.
Yeah. And how has the support been, Vivian? Have you found that there have been various stakeholders, apart from the foundations that we've mentioned this morning, that want to come on board or have come on board to support projects of this nature?
The support has been overwhelming, I must say, I must admit. There's lots of foundation and lots of stakeholders that came to the party when they saw what we have done. The initiative started actually 5 years ago. And the proper rollout, we did it last year in November in one of the schools in Gauteng. So after that first rollout, that's when we received lots of calls from different stakeholders. If you pay attention now to details, everyone is concerned about doing the right things, especially now. I mean, giving back to the community, everyone wants to be seen doing good. And that's the reason why we never struggled in terms of getting people coming to want to partner with us.
What about government? Have you had any government-related stakeholders wanting to say, you know, we support this initiative and we want to be involved?
We did. The City of Johannesburg, they came on board as well. They pledged their support. Department of Education at national and provincial level. The period poverty, it is a pandemic. It's something that is affecting everyone. It's not only affecting the Mokome Foundation, but everyone at large. And that's the reason why the support from the Department of Education and the city itself.
Yeah. Quintus, you said arts and cultures, part of a project or part of the a component of the project that you use to motivate and to really encourage these young women that you are giving the sanitary towels to. And I'm just wondering, why arts and culture as opposed to sports or any other kind of activity that would interest the youth?
I think also with sports, arts and culture, it unites the nation, irrespective of culture, irrespective of your environment you come from, irrespective of gender or sex or so forth. So the arts and culture element speaks to the youth of today. They would be able to respond to what we are delivering on stage, opposed to us just going there and demonstrating a sanitary napkin. Bringing that element that speaks to influencers, celebrities from those communities who have made it, who they respond to. It was important for us to actually bring them on board so that our offering is tailor-made, it's solution-driven, and we are able to capture the audience over and above the sanitary napkin itself. So the likes of Lady Do performed at the last school last week Friday. So we had an influencer from TikTok. So basically we had to bring the arts and culture into it itself.
And I suppose it's all about making it relatable and relevant to young people.
Absolutely.
And that's the best way.
And besides, it's all about also motivating them. That's why we went and looked for the celebrities from those specific townships that have made it, so that those kids can easily relate with them. I mean, if they see someone like Lady Do from Vosloorus who says, hey, I'm from Vosloorus, but this is where I am today, you know,
you can do it too.
Exactly, you too can. Because that's a message that we're sending to say, girl child, you can dream again, remain in class, and you too can. If Vivian from the dusty street of Soshanguve has made it, if Lady Do from the dusty street of Vosloorus, I mean, if the likes of Vosi Mishak from Alexander itself has made it, you too can. So basically that's a message that we are sending to them.
Yeah, and Quintus, I think it's quite encouraging that you as a male are part of a project of this nature, because there is a misconception that this is a woman problem, so women must deal with it. How important was that for you to put out as a message that it's a problem that involves everybody, despite your race or your gender?
I think for me, it spoke volumes, because I never really knew what a lady goes through from their periods, menstruation, and so forth. So for me, coming on board, it speaks to a real life experience. Me adopting, and going out there to demonstrate was key for me, because if a male can do it, other males can actually see what is happening from a lady's perspective, because people never really talk, whether it's period poverty or issues that they're having, they never really speak about it. So for us to speak about it as a male, from a male perspective, it actually brings a different message across. And even when we go to the schools itself, it's not just the ladies we are speaking to, it's the entire school that we are speaking to. When we conduct the demonstrations on stage, it's males that are coming up to do the demonstrations. It's males that are touching the sanitary napkin when we are doing the demonstration. It's all about educating and empowering individuals, because the less you know about it, you won't be affected. But at the end of the day, we are all affected.
We have to wrap, Vivian, but I have to ask you what's next. In Rwanda, sanitary towels are freely available at public schools. Is that something that the foundation will push for?
That's what I'm pushing for. The goal is to make sure that the sanitary napkin, which is a simple thing, it is easily available in schools. And that will be for me, I would have achieved my objective of ensuring that a girl child remain in school for the rest of the year. So if government is part of this and different stakeholders are coming on board, I believe as a foundation we will be able to achieve the objective.
Thank you very much, ladies, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me in studio today. That is Vivian, Mokome and Quintus Sarawan from talking to us rather about the initiative or the project around ending a period of poverty in South Africa.